Morning, guys. Just got through eating some lunch. I've been at the Life and Victory all morning. I spent 4 hours there this morning. We had a really good service this morning. I wanted to talk to you for a second. I don't really have time in 3 minutes, but I'll make it quick. One of those guys came and worked for me the other day, and we were eating lunch, and we were talking about his childhood and growing up, and he was just crying in tears. And I let him share some things with me, and I told him he had the fear of abandonment. And as he was describing his life to me growing up, he said, I have so much anxiety, and I thought everything was my fault. And I said, why is that? And he said, well, my dad was an alcoholic, and I used to just sit and just wait for him to come home, and he would just leave and wouldn't come home, and then he'd come home, and then he'd be gone, and he'd come home, and then he'd be gone, and he was always drunk and verbally abusive and mean. And he said, I always thought something was wrong. He said, but I would just sit and cry, wanting my dad to come home. And when you have that situation, the person that loves you the most and the person that's supposed to protect you, and they don't do that, you start thinking something's wrong. You start trying to figure out why. And first of all, and second of all, it builds such a sense of loathing yourself. It makes you hate your situation so bad that your endorphins are so high that the only way that you can get that as you grow and get older is to search out things and do things that make you have that feeling again. And even if it's a feeling like this person didn't treat you right, you still try to get to that level. And when that person doesn't treat you right and you're trying to get back to that feeling, then all hell breaks loose. And you don't know if you're coming, if you're going. You start sabotaging your relationships. You start sabotaging yourself. You start picking people that are not going to have your back to be friends with, to have relationships with. You start wanting to have sex all the time and jump into relationships because that's the quickest and the only way that you can get that feeling, because you know that you sabotaged that relationship and it's not going to last anyway. So you can just get that feeling and have sex and go away. So I want to give you 5 verses this morning that will encourage you to start making a relationship with yourself first and foremost. Deuteronomy 31:6, Psalms 27:10, Romans 8:38 and 39, Isaiah 41:10, and Hebrews 13:5. I hope that helps some of you.